Hi, I'm Rob Stevenson. I teach at John Barsby High School, and I'd like to welcome you to the podcast. Today I'm interviewing Mr. Thomas Fortier. He's part of the 8th grade drum class, and he's got experience with drums, I believe, for 8 years. Welcome to the podcast, Toban.
Hi, how are you today?
I'm doing great, and happy to be sitting here with you. So tell me about your history with drums.
I've been playing for 8 years. When I was 5, around there, I moved to Alberta, and it's just city outside of Calgary, and there was some sort of talent show or something, and I wanted to play the drums. So my dad said, "Okay, well then we'll teach you the drums," and so he taught me, and then I just grew up to it, and it's been fun. So yeah.
So kind of a natural, like a duck to water.
Yeah.
Yeah. And drums are your absolute favorite in the instrument world?
Yeah, they are. Since I just have a lot of energy to release out, and it helps me release my energy.
So you started playing, like in a talent show and at home. Were you ever a part of an organization, like a marching band or anything like that?
Yeah, I was in Calgary. It was a Calgary Stampede marching band, and we did a bunch of different shows. Like we played at Calgary Stampeders games at the Saddle Dome in front of tons of people, and it was super fun for me. So yeah.
Lots of energy in that endeavor.
Yeah, there's lots of energy.
Yeah. And when you're part of a large group of people playing drums, do you feel the power of it? Do you feel like you're really projecting an attitude or idea just through the drumming?
Most definitely. Yeah, so it's easy. It's pretty good to do that because it gets you an idea of what something like drums can do. They're like one of the main parts of the song. So you feel something when there's a bunch of people playing and you're the one who's actually making the rhythm for the song. So that's what I like.
I'll say it's sort of like the heartbeat.
Yeah, the drums are sort of like the heartbeat of the song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent. So you took all that experience. You moved to Nanaimo, you said, about a year ago, you said?
Yeah, about a year ago.
Okay. And did you attend elementary school or straight to John Barsby?
I did. So I attended elementary school.
Yeah.
It's over in a school at Park Avenue.
Yep.
And so I attended there for grade 7.
And then you got here right in the thick of the COVID epidemic.
Yeah.
Right. And you became part of Mr.Der's new drumming class.
Yeah. So what he wanted to do is that since there was a bunch of air particles coming out from like saxophones and tubas and everything, he wanted to do something more something non-breath like. So he used drums, and so he's taught everybody drums, and so I thought, oh, that's really cool.
That's right up your alley.
Yeah.
And being an 8-year experienced drummer, having experience with marching bands and doing large performances, you weren't necessarily a beginner in that class. Is that correct?
No, as well as my two other friends, my two other friends, Atley and Ovando, we all have experience with drumming, so we have a lot. We actually all do drumming for a bit, so that's really nice.
So in that capacity then, do you find yourself as a leader in that class?
Yeah, I actually do. I've been helping out some of the people because they don't know how to read sheet music, so I've been helping them out with that. And so it's been really fun helping other people out.
Yeah. And so Mr.Der is kind of like a lieutenant, like he's the officer that's setting the agenda, and you three are like his sergeants that are helping the brand new drummers.
Yeah. Yeah, it's actually almost exactly like that.
Yeah. It's kind of martial, like military in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. And that's a great way to learn too, right? And a lot like wolves, they find the younger people or less experienced will follow the more experienced individuals.
Yeah.
And you set a tone and a pace for everybody. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm. So some people pick up drumming really quick, and they can find stuff out really fast. And some people need to take it a bit slower, and they need to need help along the way. So either way, it's fine. And if you learn, it's fun.
Yep.
to get it.
So when you assist people with drumming, like you said, there's all different experience levels, and some people come to it naturally, and some people need a little more time. Do you find that repetition, it really helps learning, like doing it over and over and doing it the right way?
Yeah, if you repeat it, and if you do it over and over again, you get it stuck in your brain. Your brain will know how to do it. So it's kind of like muscle memory.
Yeah.
So once you learn drumming, it's pretty hard to forget. So it's pretty easy to learn.
Yeah, it is absolute muscle memory.
Yeah.
Brain memory, of course, repetition. So this class started up. Have you seen the class change? Have you seen people really starting to embrace it once they get the hang of it?
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people having to enjoy having some time with the drums, and we've really gotten to the point where we can take off our practice pads and give control to the drums, so we don't blast out as loud as we can.
Okay. And is there becoming a team mentality with the group?
Yes, we've actually been doing a lot of team building stuff and synchronization. So a lot of the stuff that we do is mostly teamwork. So that's really nice to do.
So that's a great combination. You're telling me there's individual skill building taking place, lots of fundamentals and repetition, and then there's the team feel to it.
Yeah.
So it's becoming, would you say that it's becoming its own beast, its own little animal? Its own group think and such?
Yeah. So what we're actually planning to do is in the giant picture, we're picturing just football games, playing at football games at halftime or anything similar to that.
Yeah,
so,
football, basketball.
Yeah.
You get up to a Raiders game, do that.
Mm-hmm.
Events around town. Have you heard of any other drumming groups beyond the cadets in town?
No, I actually have not. So this is actually one of the first schools to actually do this. So I think this is really cool to do.
Yeah, your guys are pioneers.
Yeah.
Yeah. And a real outlier. When I say outlier, we're kind of standing on our own out here, doing our thing. And so you see a future in it? You think young people want to do this year after year and keep building a better machine with it?
Yeah, most definitely. And so what we're actually, an idea going around is doing the drumming group with some of the seniors in the group, so they know how to pick it up.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And then as a bunch, your class is all 8th graders, correct?
Yes.
All right. So, you're going to have 5 years of high school, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Can you imagine the legacy that you might be leaving by the time you're a 12th grader?
Yeah, I can actually. It would be really cool to see everybody see how much better they get over the years.
I think so, because next year everybody will have a year under their belts, and when the new people come in, you'll be starting where you left off this year, and you'll be able to pass on your experience to those young folks.
Yeah.
And as the years go by, and it could get really deep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, excellent. Way to break trail, and you're doing Barsby proud, all of you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for the interview today.
No problem. It's been great talking to you.
Good stuff, Toban.
All right.
So continuing on with the John Barsby Grade 8 drum class, I'm sitting here with Mr.Der, longtime band teacher at John Barsby. Welcome to the podcast, Mr.Der.
Thanks, Coach.
How long have you been running band at John Barsby?
Oh, gosh, too long.
Too long? So we're talking about 3 decades?
More.
Okay, so a serious veteran here with music in School District 68. Traditionally, you've worked with jazz music. You had a rock class. Yeah. Any other genres that you specialized in?
Well, back in the day, we had musical theater, we had jazz choir, we had concert choir, we had the whole thing. Concert band, jazz band.
Right on. Mm-hmm. And so you run the whole gamut. And have you found it to be a bit of a shock that you're maybe riding into the sunset with some percussion?
Actually, no. To be honest, percussion is probably one of my number one passions. When I was very, very young, my first instrument was getting my mom's pots and pans out and hitting it with chopsticks.
Oh, that would have been a great household to grow up in. So you got to this point where this is the first drum class that you've run in your career.
Right, absolutely.
And how did you get to this point?
Well, quite honestly, Corona actually, COVID kind of drove me to this because I personally don't feel comfortable getting into a room with a bunch of people blowing instruments. That's just my own personal feelings, and so I thought that perhaps to do something that's a little more safe for everybody, we went to this percussion model.
And your experience thus far with it?
Oh, it's been fantastic. As young Toban has alluded to, it's been for me especially, it's been exhilarating. It's one of those things that, yes, I've played percussion and stuff like that, but to actually teach a course it's fantastic. Every day I'm learning something new, and the kids are learning stuff, and it's just taking off by itself.
It's growing.
It's growing fast.
Right. In terms of enthusiasm, and with the enthusiasm comes proficiency from practice.
Proficiency, and also I know that Toban alluded to teamwork. Mm-hmm. We've done a lot of team building, and these students are really starting to look after each other and work with each other, help each other, and I'm just blown away.
A team is fun, isn't it?
It is. Team is all about it.
You can be an individual, and then you're part of the team, and you can really take it to new levels.
Well, like they say, there's no I in team.
That's right. So, when I think about humanity in general, right back to the time where we were knee high in the grass, in the Ovando Gorge in Eastern Africa. People probably, sang before they did anything. And I'm willing to bet a good, big, thick, juicy steak that the next type of noise we made as a team was drumming.
Oh, absolutely, Rob. You're right. I mean, all around the world, the drumming is probably one of the primary source of communication, rhythm. Drums are just so powerful. Going all the way from the big guitar drums in Japan to the West African drumming with all the different types of drums that they have. You name it, the First Nations with their drumming, and drumming just encompasses it's an international thing.
It's a spiritual thing.
Absolutely,
humans gravitate towards it.
And I mean, just by physically playing a rhythm, it's just a feeling that you can't get anywhere else. It's I don't know how to describe it. It's just exhilarating.
Would you liken it to perhaps projecting your soul and then maybe the soul of a group of people?
Yeah, I guess so. And when we're talking about soul, I don't mean this the genre of soul music. I don't think you're talking about
your spirits. Projecting.
Thank you. Just to clarify that. Okay, yeah. No. It is very spiritual, and it's like I think you talked to Toban about. It's a heartbeat.
It's a heartbeat.
It's a heartbeat, and it just drives everything.
And from your experience thus far, it's in its infancy still, but I'm sure you go home and think about it and how it can the group can represent their skills or find forms to do so. Where do you want to take this?
Well, gosh, I mean, at this point, I think sky's the limit. There's so many opportunities. I mean, I think the most obvious one, as Toban alluded to, is to play at athletic events. But an ensemble like this, you can pretty much perform at any kind of event, right? And trying to get the kids to appreciate different styles of music and drumming, and it's really neat just to see how they kind of, when you first play something for them, they're not quite sure what it is, but then as they start to personally engage in that type of drumming, it just they just really glom onto it.
Excellent. And the team piece will add even more to team pieces, because this group plays at a Barsby basketball game or football game or a school-wide event. We could have our gym right, and the drums can tee everything off and get everybody in the mood. it'll seriously be a force multiplier, an enhancer for the people that go to perform.
Yeah.
So when groups, I was coach of the football team. I've been around a couple marching bands at away games, and even though they're rooting for their team, just the sound of the drums, it picks up the intensity of all the participants. Speaking on behalf of the athletic department, I think our teams will have a definite home field advantage. Just feeling our classmates out there playing with us and with the crowd. It's going to be a happening. It's going to be an event. Are you looking forward to that kind of energy?
Oh, yeah. And, we're always looking at school spirit, ways we can build school spirit, and, having our guys out there playing. Well, for one, they actually get a chance to perform what we're working on. But then, there's that whole thing about school spirit and the energy and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, really looking forward to that.
I think a lot of people will be thankful to have them out.
Well, hopefully.
And this is an outlier program. Are you aware of a potential drumming corps anywhere in Nanaimo or Vancouver Island?
Well, I know that there's the Navy League and the military ranks have theirs, and also I know that Belmont High has one, and there's a couple of schools down in Vancouver that are starting these things, and I think we're going to start to see more and more of these types of things propping up because, at high school level, music is it's changing with these young people, what they are involved in, and there's actually, I looked it up, there's a provincial championships and types of things with drum lines, and so who knows? We'll just see how it goes. We're just moving in baby steps, but those baby steps are getting to be giant steps more and more. So,
well, you've got one big supporter right here for what you're doing. It's just outstanding. You're, I think it'd be a great draw just for our school as well. Being able to when the pandemic goes away, that we'll be able to go out and play elementary schools as well and introduce a lot of young people.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, once we can, we'll be down there. I mean, I always go down there with my beginning band just to do a little bit, a little showing and a little bit of recruiting. And oh yeah, the Drumline will be there front and center for sure.
Fantastic. Well, congratulations. And I just want you and your students to know that we're all proud of what you're doing and rooting for you in the long term.
Awesome. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Go Barsby.
Hoorah.
And here concludes episode number 5 of the John Barsby podcast. Hope you enjoyed listening more about our fantastic percussionist group and Mr.Der's program. Stay tuned for future episodes.